Okay, so I wanted to follow up with you all and make a shorter, more precise um, screen recording on how to do your PDF presentations. So, one of the things to help you understand, first of all, is where this fits in the whole idea of your portfolio. So, I'm clicking over Bridge to show you the parent folder for what you're turning in for your portfolio. The portfolio consists of all of your source images that, in theory, you took into Photoshop and you edited them so that they are much crisper, cleaner, and you save those files with all the layers as 300 dpi, 7 inches on the long side files. And then, in theory, you took these files and used a Photoshop action to downsize these adjusted files to flatten 72 dpi, 1200 pixels on the long side, and that's what should be saved into the JPEG folder. So when we click here, you can see down in the lower right, it does say 72 dpi, and the dimensions are 1200. And just to verify, when we click into the PSD, when we click onto any of these files, it should say 300 ppi, and I'm looking for the 7 inches on the long side, so that's correct. So that's what the whole portfolio is. Now the question for this particular video is, what do we mean by the PDF presentation? Because we are doing our final critique remotely, students are presenting a PDF presentation of selected items from your portfolio. So I recommend that you create your PDF with the JPEG images because there's a lot less data and it'll load faster and be easier to save, not so big. So, all right, let's go through those steps then. So, you're going to need a title page. This is the handout, and I updated it to rename this as a PDF presentation. And I chose this language so that we're not confusing the presentation with the overall portfolio. So, to make the presentation, we're going to drop into Photoshop, create a new file to be the cover sheet. And this will be 8.5 by 11 vertical. And in here, you can pull out a type tool. Take whatever type you want to use. Arial is fine. And we're going to pull out a type area. And in here, we're going to type the name. R2 portfolio. And then let me check with our handout again. Just want to make sure. Name, projected major, R2 portfolio, semester, year, and contact. Okay, R2 portfolio, semester. Okay, semester is fall 2020. And then contact, which would be, you should insert like your permanent email or some other permanent contact that you would like to have. All right, so right now, though, this doesn't look like much. So we want to be working with our ideas of hierarchy. So first of all, we're going to pull this name down with a few returns, and I'm going to double the size of this font. That still looks okay. And then we're going to take this and divide it in half. So I'm just going to hit another return here just to bring it down the page just a little bit. And this is totally your aesthetic decisions that you're making here. Okay. So once you've fiddled around with it and you got how you like it, then you can come in and flatten it and save it out as a JPEG into your folder. So there's the parent portfolio. I'm dropping down into the JPEGs because that's where I'm going to look for the title page for the presentation. Now the next step is to go ahead and create a presentation. So we will go to File, Automate, PDF Presentation, and we need to go find our images. And it happened that mine just went right back to where I saved my title page, but if yours surfs somewhere else, this is where you need to go. Go to your parent folder, come down into the parent folder, into the JPEGs, and then here, select the JPEGs that you want to have in your presentation. And when you choose them, you need to be choosing them so that they relate to what you want to be saying in your presentation. And you definitely need the title page. You need to have a minimum of 3 pages per area, 3 for drawing, 3 for photo, 3 for 2D design. And you should have a couple or 3 pictures of your sketchbook. I wanted to point out to you here that the title page may come up in the wrong location, so you can just do this click and drag to move pages around here to get the order you want. If you have ordered them properly in your portfolio, they should already be in order here, so that would be pretty easy. So check presentation and white background, and over here be sure to check loop after the last page and advance every 5 seconds. And now you can choose where this is going to be saved. It should be saved in the parent folder, and you can name it your class name, the section, your last name, your first name, and your final presentation. All right, we'll take these defaults. And now let's back out and let's just go to our Finder and let's find what we just created and click on it. And here it is. There's the presentation PDF. And we will allow it to run the presentation for us. So this is what should be happening while you are speaking to us on Wednesday for final critiques. Your images will be rotating, and you can make comments about your creative process and all the other questions that are provided in the handout. So I hope that helps. I'll send this off to you for your reference. Take care.